On this episode of CityView, U.S. Davis Cup tennis team came and went, helping homeless off the streets. Permanent solutions help, and these homes will create energy, enough to have a net zero energy bill. Thanks for joining us. I'm Samantha Park. Our furry friends over at the Town Lake Animal Center are getting a new $12 million facility that will up the level of care for Austin's lost, abandoned, and orphaned animals. The new 41,000 square foot facility is key to maintaining the city's current no-kill status, which means saving at least 90% of the animals that enter the Animal Center. The new facility, approved by voters in 2006, will shift current animal services operations just 5 miles from the old Animal Center, which opened in 1952. The city is negotiating a license agreement with the nonprofit animal rescue group Austin Pets Alive to temporarily operate city animal adoptions from the Town Lake Animal Facility at 1156 West Cesar Chavez Street.
We have been in a shelter that was built in 1952, the Town Lake Animal Center. It has served us very, very well, but the shelter is antiquated and it's literally falling apart. So we're extremely excited to be moving into this new state-of-the-art facility that is going to be so much easier for us to clean, so much easier for us to disinfect.
From the dogs that chew tennis balls to the players that use them, the Davis Cup tennis competition is the world's largest annual international team competition in sports, with 130 nations entering last year. In 2011, when the U.S. Davis Cup tennis team played in Austin against Spain, they left a gift. As tradition has it, whenever the U.S. Davis Cup team plays, they leave behind a lasting legacy. This year, the Davis Cup chose the Austin Tennis Center to build 8 permanent 36-foot quick start tennis courts and add 60-foot quick start lines to the already existing courts. This will promote youth tennis in Austin.
2 more.
The project took just 3 months and was completed on September 15th. The Austin Parks and Recreation Department celebrated the grand opening with the new courts, which are located at the Austin Tennis Center, 7800 Johnny Morris Road. They will mostly be used to bring programming opportunities for youth 10 and under.
I got to be careful because there's some pretty dynamite players, young players on the courts today, and it could be a little dangerous standing here with my back to them.
The Davis Cup began its history in 1900 when women were not allowed to play in the Worldwide Tennis Championships. In 1963, the Fed Cup was launched when celebrating the 50th anniversary of the International Tennis Federation.
Well, what you can see is a lot of activity of very short people behind us. Those are kids that are 6, 5 years old that are already have a tennis racket in their hand, and we've got courts that are right size for those kids.
If you'd like to try out the new courts or perfect that serve, know the Parks and Recreation Department manages 6 tennis centers throughout the city. And now for your City Council update.
Council approved a resolution stating the city's preference for proposed sound walls along the Mopac corridor. A study is underway to examine possible improvements along Mopac between Palmer Lane and Cesar Chavez. Council's vote to approve the resolution only indicates the city's preference, but does not obligate it to use city funds for construction of the walls. The Texas Department of Transportation and the Central Texas Regional Mobility Authority have met with neighborhoods near where the sound walls might go. Property owners abutting the corridor where sound walls are proposed to be built have voted on whether sound walls should be constructed. Speaking of voting, Council approved a resolution reaffirming its intention to hold a charter amendment election a year from now in November 2012. The City of Austin's charter was last amended in 2008. Among the items voters might see next November include potential district maps for the City Council and a change in the city's election date. Council also authorized a 3-year contract for management of the Austin Tennis Center. The $315,000 contract with Lone Star Tennis Company reflects an informal survey and a recent analysis of how courts are being utilized and what programming opportunities exist. And set your DVRs now. Council has set their meeting schedule and our Council update schedule for 2012. Council will continue to hold work sessions on the Tuesdays before their official meetings on Thursdays. In all, Council considered 77 items at its November 3rd meeting. Its next regularly scheduled meeting will be November 10th. For CityView, I'm Larry Schooler.
Now, on any given night, more than 2,300 Austinites are homeless, in shelters or on the street. Recently, 100 Austinites along with national and local leaders gathered at a local church to talk about homelessness in Austin. The discussion was hosted by the City of Austin in partnership with the Ending Community Homelessness Coalition and the Corporation for Supportive Housing. Together, they are working to provide more permanent supportive housing options, which means instead of a short-term stay in a shelter, there's a place to live with an affordable lease along with services such as health checkups and help finding a job. The initiative is called A Roof Over Austin, with a goal of ending homelessness in Austin using a sensible, safe, and stable housing approach.
It's a matter of respecting the dignity of each individual, respecting that they have something positive to offer. They're not just a burden on our law enforcement and our courts and our jails and our healthcare system. They actually have something positive to offer to our city. And we just need to put them in a position where they're able to make the most of the opportunities before them so that they can actually lead healthy, productive lives.
They also talked about the creation of a Good Neighbor program, which assists developers of affordable housing units. Also, a panel of housing experts moderated by Tom Spencer with Interfaith Action of Central Texas shared their perspectives from working with homeless populations. If you'd like to help, know that the Ending Community Homelessness Coalition will be launching a 100 Homes campaign in November. Learn more and volunteer at www.100homesaustin.org. Recently, global energy experts gathered in downtown Austin to discuss best practices in smart grid deployment and develop a business model for the smart cities of tomorrow that will use these technologies. Austin hosted the first ever World Smart Cities Forum organized by Tokyo-based Nikkei Business Publications. Here's a closer look.
Following the smart grid model, naturally the system.
Last year, we published the World 100 Case Study of Smart Cities. And one of the projects we featured was the Austin Beacon Street project. And the result got a lot of attention from Japanese audience. So we've chosen the Austin as the venue for this event.
Is there a financial benefit? And then how do
I think Austin is already on the lead. I mean, as it were, there already smart grids that are being tested and smart communities that are being developed. So therefore, we are here to learn from Austin what Austin has actually achieved.
A lot of smart cities projects are going on in the world, and Austin is the very important position in the energy, smart cities things. You have great resources of engineers and academia and a good company here. So Austin is, I think, the model city to think about global business model of smart city.
Being a smarter city means smarter living. So how does a net zero energy bill sound to you? Shovels hit the dirt as City of Austin leaders joined the community in celebrating the future home of a subdivision that is both affordable and energy efficient. The Guadalupe Saldana Net Zero Subdivision is referred to as Net Zero because 60 homes will produce as much energy as they consume throughout the year, resulting in a net zero energy bill. Today, 11 acres sit vacant near Goodwin Avenue in East Austin. The project will transform the area and provide single-family and multifamily homes, some for rent, some for sale. The City of Austin, through the Austin Housing and Finance Corporation, contributed more than $1.6 million towards the subdivision's creation of affordable housing. Homes and apartment units will be available to lower-income households. The Guadalupe Neighborhood Development Corporation, a nonprofit organization developing the subdivision, expects mortgages to range from $50,000 to $150,000.
So this project is in the heart of East Austin, and this once was a landfill site, but I think it's projects like this that are sorely needed. We need to continue to focus on those folks in Austin who want home ownership and want to be a part of this community, but just really can't afford it at market rates. We see a lot of Austin doing very well. We're very proud of that, and we should be. But But we should also be proud of the efforts that we're putting forward in making sure that Austin remains affordable for everyone that wants to be a part of this great city. And that's what this project is going to do. It's going to give those folks that opportunity.
The neighborhood will also include a community center that will be a resource for the families moving to the area. That wraps up this episode of City View. I'm your host, Samantha Park. The next episode will premiere November 11th. Thanks for watching.